Maybe this has happened to you. I know people that this has actually happened to. You may know someone as well. It's hard to believe at first, but imagine someone coming up to you and says, "Here, drink this," and all your hair is going to fall out, and you will vomit so violently that at first you're afraid that you're going to die. And then you'll be afraid that you're not going to die. Well, why would you do that? Well, if you got the explanation and said, "Well, because I'm your oncologist, and if you drink this, there'll be these horrible side effects, but you'll be cured of cancer." Well, that explanation makes all the difference, doesn't it? But if someone offered you that drink, offered really no explanation, and just said, "Because I said so," that would make taking the medicine rather hard, wouldn't it? So, the old song, "A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down in the most delightful way." I want to suggest that an explanation can make bitter medicine easier to take. Doctors know this. I just wonder if senior members of the Catholic cadre, the people who should really know better club, also know that too. Stay with me. I've got a story to tell. Hi, I'm Jesuit Father Robert McTeigue, your host every day here at the Catholic Current, coming to you from the Station of the Cross Catholic Media Network. Let's take a closer look. Glad you're here. Some people have been asked to take some bitter medicine recently. Our friends in the Diocese of Charlotte, our friends in the Diocese of Knoxville, and other places where the synodal church, the welcoming church, the accompanying church, the church that provides quiet space and prayer rugs for Muslims in the Vatican Library, says, "But not for you, nothing for you, or nearly nothing for you, because what you love is bad for you, and we've got to take it away." Think of the children. And you say, "Well, wait a minute. We love this, and it's good for us." Well, but some of the people who agree with you, they tweet mean things. Well, uh, I didn't I didn't tweet mean things. Anyway, it's for the best. What are you, a Protestant? Stop asking questions. Now, this may sound like madness, doesn't it? It sounds abusive. "Oh, Father, there you go, exaggerating again." But I'm not. If you read the letter that came out recently from the Cathedral Basilica of Knoxville, Tennessee, it really does accuse people who have a devotion to the traditional Latin Mass of idolatry and acting like Protestants. Harsh words, harsh words. But what I noticed in Charlotte and Knoxville and other places, there's not really much in the way of explanation. Hard things are easier to accept if we have the why. If someone says, "You got to go to the gym," I don't like going to the gym. If you don't go to the gym, you're going to have a heart attack and die. All right, then, I'll go to the gym. Take this medicine that'll make your hair fall out. Why? Because if you don't, you'll die of cancer. Okay, having the why. But I keep looking and looking in recent literature for the why. I'm waiting for the synodal, listening, accompanying, occlusive, welcoming church to sit down with folks and say, "Listen, we know you love this old thing, but let us tell you why removing all the references to St. Michael the Archangel is better for you." I know that the scripture readings are different. You get more in the new one, except for the readings we chose to leave out. And gosh, it really is just the same. And you could add a little Latin if you want, except that when you compare the two books, it doesn't seem to be really the same. So, step by step, there are radical differences that people are being asked to accept without question. And they're being asked to accept it by the champions of dialogue and listening and synodality and accompanying and inclusion and welcome. And candidly, it's It's just confusing. Teachers are meant to teach. Teachers really ought to teach not only the what and the how, but also the why. And if the only thing that the teachers can offer is because I said so, and it'll be better for you. Don't you want to be like everybody else? It, I can understand why it wouldn't ring true to people. And if you have hair that looks like mine, if it looks this gray, you may remember many years ago when we're all a lot younger, and people started innovating liturgically beyond what the big red book on the altar permitted. We were told that unity doesn't mean uniformity. But now the advocates of unity are saying, yeah, it really does mean uniformity. And who knows, maybe it actually really does. But could we have an explanation? Could we have a step by step walkthrough? This is why the differences between the old and the new make the new so much better that you must not have access to the old. And here's an explanation that I know lots of people that I speak with, people who write to me, they say, hey, Father, when I look at the older form of the Mass, I know that it's correlated with beautiful music and beautiful churches and vocations and monasteries and poetry and great art. And when I look around in recent years, I see ugly churches and ugly music and loss of vocations and bad art and really a near complete collapse of reverence. And I hear people are going to rush in and they're going to say the magic words. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation. Yes, yes, yes. Fine. No one is saying correlation equals causation. So, pace. But how about this? What would you want to be associated with? Something that undeniably generated beautiful art and cathedral and music and saints, or something else? This is just a handful of the questions that have been tearing at people's hearts for a really long time. And those who are meant to teach, to sanctify, and to govern, it seems, at least to the people who speak to me, that those people seem to be more inclined to govern in the form of because I said so, and not so much teaching, showing this is what the differences are, this is the why of the differences, and these are the benefits of the differences, and these are the harms that come if you're not on board. Those explanations haven't been forthcoming, as far as I can tell. But you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have a blind spot. I'm certainly fallible. So I'm going to offer you an invitation on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern on October 24th on the Catholic Current, coming to you from the Station of the Cross Catholic Media Network. I'm going to put on my professor's hat. I'm going to go old school professor, and I'm going to get out my red pen, and I'm going to take the document recently produced by the Basilica in Knoxville, Tennessee, and I'm going to go through it line by line and analyze it as a professor. And then if we bump up against the end of the broadcast time, I'm going to continue the audio in podcast without commercial interruption. If you're listening on broadcast, that's great. I suggest that you get a link and download that document so you can follow through with me line by line at home. And we'll see if the explanations have been there all along, or maybe they haven't been given just yet. In any case, think on these things today. Take them to prayer. Talk about it with those you love. Go in peace, and please do pray for me, for I am a sinner. Thanks for watching today. I release new videos on Mondays and Wednesdays. Check out the archives for more videos. You can listen to my podcast at stationofthecross.com, and you can find my written work at heraldofthegospel.org. See you next time.